Well, good Saturday morning, everyone, and greetings once again from Radio Wasteland Records here in Midland, Michigan. I hope your Saturday is off to a great start. We have got a cloudy one. We had sunshine for a couple of days here in the mid-Michigan area, and it's February, so we can't have that. So we're back to the cloudy skies. I think maybe we'll get some tomorrow, but that unseasonably warm temperature, I think we hit 60 degrees the other day. And then, into the 40s, but t-shirt weather basically here is what we're saying for those of you who know and love this part of the state. But it's going to get colder and we're not out of it yet. We're going to get some snow. And I think up in the UP especially, they're really hurting this time of year. Anyhow, we have got a great day and a weekend planned here at the store, slinging lots of great new and vintage vinyl as we do every single week and weekend. Quick note for those of you who are not watching us on Instagram, because you cannot watch us on Instagram at the moment. After a couple of weeks of being on Instagram and doing it live on there, we've had a bit of a technical difficulty. I put a post up there saying, head over to the YouTube channel if you watched us on Instagram. For the foreseeable future, please watch us on YouTube. Those of you on Facebook, please continue to do so. But I got locked out of the Instagram account. Yep. Well, kind of, but you just heard me say I posted there. Yep, I did. I can post images to the Instagram account through the Meta business app because Instagram and Facebook are connected under Robot Zuck's Meta platform. So I can post to it, but I am locked out of it pretty much every other way, including me getting in there to get the code to put the video up live every week for the update. So I'm working on that, but it's my fault that we're locked out. I cannot get in touch with them to verify the account as a business account, verified business account. And that's due basically to me not giving a crap about Instagram for so long. So I'm working on it. It's a lower priority. So in the meantime, please just watch these live updates here on Facebook and or here on YouTube. Sorry about that, Instagrammers. I just... it kind of failed you there. Let's say some good mornings and then we'll get on with our day. Let's see. Sean picked up a couple of unofficials on the print side. He says the sound quality on those albums are excellent. The Prince abides. Very good to hear, Sean. I will be on the lookout for more of those. Yep, I talked before about our new pipeline into some of these unofficial, aka bootleg albums over the past couple of weeks. And these new ones sound really nice. So we'll see what we can do to keep bringing those kind of good stuff in. Chuck, good morning to you and Jennifer as well. Good morning. Thank you for being here. Betty in Toledo saying good morning. Sunny down there. Must be nice. We'll get to there as well. Jim, a little south of us as well, saying good morning. Let's see here. Blade, hey to you, sir. Thank you for being here. Tracy, from Chesaning saying good morning and thank you for watching, as well as JT. Good morning to you, sir. Jim added Instagram bites. I've never been a fan. I got to admit, I've just, Facebook's tough enough sometimes, and I've been on Facebook a long time, people. I've been on Facebook. Okay, I used to work higher ed. Facebook started as a connection for higher ed. So I go back that far. I believe I was even into it early when it was the Facebook. So that one's kind of ingrained in me because I'm old. But yeah, Instagram, it is what it is. I'll get it figured out eventually. I may just have to start something new. We'll see what it goes. Paul, hi from Saginaw. Paul, thanks for being here, as well as a good morning to Bruce. And on the west side, represent Rick saying good morning and greetings from Grand Rapids. Good to have you here. All right. Quick update before we get into the goodie. Oh, wait, Ryan's chiming in. Blade. Oh, okay, cool. I didn't realize as well. Please feel free to watch on YouTube, Ryan. It's just as cool from there. But now that I know. But thanks, Ryan, for tuning in this morning. Okay. We are now in 10 days into February. And a couple weeks back, again, looking backwards at our previous years with the Record Store Day proper, everybody wants to know when the list is coming out. So I'm going to make a little prediction here. We're getting a little closer. Record Store Day's Facebook page has become a little more active the other day, and I shared this on Facebook. They announced one of the items that they're going to have coming up, the tees, and it's one of those 3-inch turntables that they did a few years back. Sound quality is not great, but it's a cool collectible. with some Beatles records, the little 3-inch Beatles records. So they teased that as being one of the goodies coming up, and I think they released something else too. So that uptick in activity by the Record Store Day, Facebook, and socials, to me indicates that the list is forthcoming. I'm going to guess it'll be sometime late next week. Again, judging by previous year's patterns when they announce it and when they get our order sheets to us. So be looking for that. And just a very, very quick reminder, we will cover, when that list comes out, we will cover that in depth. Probably we'll do a special video on Facebook and YouTube. And I think along with Steve Carlson and the Vinyl Community podcast that we do, we will cover some of those items very in depth on there as well. But brief reminder for those of you who are so new to Record Store Day, and there's a lot of you, that is cool. Welcome aboard. It's a joy and a terror at the same time. Those of you who know RSD. So they'll announce the list. Again, I'm guessing sometime next week. Don't know for certain, but probably sometime late next week. We'll see the list, and we will put up a post or two asking folks for requests. We cannot take pre-orders. We cannot pre-sell. We cannot hold or reserve any Record Store Day items per the rules of Record Store Day. So when that list hits, we will put out a call for a wish list, and that helps us decide what to order and how many of what to order, and we'll just take it from there. We cover these all the time, so I hate to bore you guys with it over and over again, but that's the way it goes. We will, again, be looking for that list sometime next week. We'll see what happens. Dan, chiming in. You're welcome, sir. Thanks for supporting the store as well. Dan, all you folks are that as well. And Brad loves the shirt. Me too. I ordered this right from They Might Be Giants. I have been on a TMBG kick of late. I mean, I go back a long way with the band, all the way to the 80s and their first album. So yeah, I'm kind of getting back into them a little more in depth. So, all right, Valentine's Day is next week as well, the 14th. Make sure, flowers. Okay, that's cool. Candy. All right, that's those are expected. Getting your significant other for Valentine's. What you should get is vinyl. I know Kim expects that from me every year. We get flowers. I get flowers, but vinyl. Oh man, she doesn't like. No, she does. But we put out a Valentine's Day drop yesterday, vintage wise. Lots of stuff from the psych band Love and a different band called Love Sculpture. Go back up and look at our drop video, and you'll see that in there as well. The Love Sculpture, by the way, if you're not familiar, 2 albums from those guys out, is Dave Edmunds' first band. So some very cool blues, but Love Sculpture is kind of some psych rock. Just a couple of other things. You can get flowers in the form of a vinyl from Vic Dana. It's some red roses instead, if you wish. A lot of compilations went out. Love Is and Together. Where else are you going to pick up an album that will give you Michael Murphy, Air Supply, Dottie West, Johnny Mathis, America, Mike Post. Holy cow. This one's got Rita Coolidge, the Commodores, Peaches and Herb, England Dan, and Little River Band. So pick up some cool vintage vinyl, Valentine's Day themed. Go for it. Okay, new releases from yesterday. We did not get, yes, Love Stinks. Well, okay, we'll get that. We didn't get that in there, but we can as well. JT says, it is the gift that keeps on giving because you can enjoy it all the time. And Jumping Dogs. Now that song is stuck in my head. Even worse, it would be Istanbul, not Constantinople, back in there as well. Okay, not a lot of new releases. There are some that got delayed, but we got 2 releases from the group Seatbelts, which is the group known for putting together the Cowboy Bebop, the animated series soundtracks. So we got one in that's called Songs for the Cosmic Sofa, which is stuff from Cowboy Bebop, as well as the Real Folk Blues Legends. Now, there was another reissue of the regular Cowboy Bebop soundtrack on another colored vinyl. These came in, that got delayed. So we'll attempt to get that in next week for those of you who've not heard. Let me get the YouTube thumbnail. That's the other thing that drives me nuts. YouTube thumbnails. I don't get that either. I'm old. Okay, a couple of other things that came in were recent music on vinyl. And this one, if you find the OG on this, it's a rare one. The name of the group is Quatermass, not quarter, Quatermass, a British group from the 60s. This is along the lines of Emerson, Lake, and Palmer mixed in with Deep Purple. And I think that there was a couple of guys, or at least one, that was involved eventually with Deep Purple in this. I have to go back and do my research on that. We'll talk about this on the podcast because I did add a copy to my collection as well. But some really cool, heavier stuff from Quatermass. This is a MOV on crystal clear vinyl, one of 750 of these. And this one's a low number. We got number 48 here. One copy of that. When that's gone, that's gone. Same thing with the Living Color. This is already back on back order. Had a couple of these. These are moved out as well, but this is the 90s. Is it 90s or late 80s? 88. 88 that came out with Vivid. Some great rockin' stuff. Black vinyl version of this. I'll try to get more when this one goes, but they're already on back order, so we'll have to see. Some reissues of things I haven't seen for quite some time. They're finally starting getting around to them. Couple from Radiohead. We've got Pablo Honey and OK Computer. I'll go out on a limb and say this. I think OK Computer is a great album. It's got one of the best side ones on a record ever with some of the Paranoid Android and Subterranean. Great album, but we did get a couple of reissues of Radiohead back in. If you miss out on these, I think they're back in stock for a while, so we will have them as needed. Let's see. We ended up with some Marley. A lot of you have been asking for some reggae and some Marley in particular, so we did get some of these. Bob Marley and the Wailers, Rastaman Vibration, with the Legend, the 30th anniversary of Legend. That's the one that's got the tricolored vinyl. So we do have that, and we got a copy of African Herbsman as well. So we've got some of those on the shelf for you Marley fans and reggae fans. And because, the Super Bowl is, of course, coming up as well. That's before St. Valentine's Day. And off that, I guess we cannot escape the fact that Taylor Swift is everywhere, man, just like Elvis was. Oh, man, Mojo, we miss you. Sorry about that. Little sidetrack. But the Super Bowl's coming up this weekend, so you're going to be inundated with Taylor Swift, especially after the Grammy win. So we did get a couple more copies of Midnights for the 2 or 3 people in the world that do not have a copy of this yet. We do have the Moonstone Blue and the Blood Moon Marbled in as well. And some of the other older Taylor Swift reissues are back. I know some folks have been looking for this for quite some time. This is the Reputation picture disc. There's no such thing, I think, right now, at least as a Reputation reissue, but the picture discs are out there, and these things, their price tag's way up on them. It's a double LP picture disc, I do believe. I've got a couple of those in stock for you Swifties out there, and the original reissue version of Red, not the Taylor's version. We've got one of those in stock as well. Oops, forgot about these. One more from the Valentine's, a new reissue of the band Love. I've got a lot of used stuff, vintage stuff from Love on the shelf as well. Some very cool psych rock. And one more from the collectible side that went out. This is an original of the Chocolate Watch Band's Inner Mystique album. It has got a triple-digit price tag that starts with 3, and it's still a fair price from Discogs because this vinyl is in absolutely excellent shape. So those of you collectors of this type of psych rock, you want one of these more high-end ones, we put this out. Contact me for more information on this if you're interested, because, man, this one's a biggie, and it's very, very, very cool. All right, let's see here. Particle Man, that is nobody's business but the Turks. I agree on there. Gary says good morning, and Sean chiming in. Okay, I will do that, sir. We'll save that one for you. All right, I believe we are up on time for the day. We're going to get set to get the store opened. We are at 716 George Street, for those of you who've not had a chance to visit, just north of the downtown Midland area by a few blocks. Stop on by. We'll be here from now until 6 p.m. today, Saturday. Then tomorrow, Sunday, Superb Owl Sunday. You know what? It's Super Bowl. I always joked about not wanting to get sued by the NFL, but screw them. Super Bowl Sunday. Hopefully you've got some good plans to watch that game if you're into it and enjoy that. I know the Lions aren't in it. I'm sorry, the Packers aren't either. So there we go. But do yourself a favor and enjoy that as well, regardless. But stop on by tomorrow, Sunday. We'll be here from 12 noon until 4 p.m., our regular hours on Sunday now. So with that in mind, be watching. It's going to be a busy week next week, especially if, and I'll say if, that record store day list drops by, I don't know, late week. We'll see where it comes. But if that pops, be on the lookout. We will cover that in our entirety and share it and get out all sorts of information on that, because we are kicking it off into the busy time of year here, getting it into record store day once again. So, all right, you folks have a great week. Get out and enjoy some of this, whatever weather we've got outside. Feel free to stop by and say hi if you're out and about in the Midland area. We will talk to you. We'll talk to everybody next week. Have a great one, and we'll talk to you next time from the Wasteland. Thanks again for watching, everybody.